What's up, ZMAM fans, and welcome back to another episode of everything you probably didn't know about
Ghostbusters 1984.
Now sit back and relax as I talk about the most fun and interesting facts for this blockbuster hit. This was the highest grossing comedy of all time until Home Alone in 1990. Almost none of the scenes were filmed as scripted. Most had at least one ad-lib, and most of Bill Murray's lines were ad-libs as well. When Louis Tully mingles with his party guests, commenting on the price of salmon and so on, the scene is one continuous shot and almost entirely improvised. In the middle of the film's initial release, to keep interest going, Ivan Reitman ran a trailer that was basically the commercial the Ghostbusters used in the movie, but the 555 number was replaced with a 1-800 number, allowing people to actually call in. Callers got a recorded message of Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd saying something to the extent of, "Hi, we're out catching ghosts right now." They got 1,000 calls per hour, 24 hours a day, for 6 weeks. Harold Ramis only intended to write the film. He decided to play Dr. Egon Spengler after he felt he was the best person suited for the role. The character of Winston was meant to have joined the team much earlier and would have been slimed at the hotel. When Eddie Murphy declined the role, the script was rewritten to have Winston appear about halfway through the film. The lively chorus shouting "Ghostbusters" during the film's theme song consisted of Ray Parker Jr.'s girlfriend and her friends, the only people Parker could find quickly enough to meet his deadline. In a 2015 interview, he said he got the idea when his son shouted "Ghostbusters." The terror dogs that come to life were actual statue designs on an old church in Philadelphia. The firehouse is actually 2 different firehouses in 2 different cities. The exterior is in New York City, and the interior is in downtown Los Angeles. The Los Angeles firehouse has been used in many movies. The jail scene was filmed in a prison reported to be haunted, and the dailies had scratches all over with no apparent physical cause. Ivan Reitman was concerned about returning there, and the crew was very relieved to find enough footage to complete the scene without returning. According to Ernie Hudson, an earlier version of the script had Winston in a larger role with an elaborate backstory as an Air Force demolitions expert. Excited by the part, he agreed to the job for half of his usual salary. The night before shooting began, he was given a new script with a greatly reduced role. Hudson was a last-minute stand-in for Eddie Murphy, who backed out after getting the lead role in Beverly Hills Cop. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man suit cost approximately $20,000 each. 3 were made, and all were destroyed during filming. Michael Keaton turned down both the roles of Dr. Peter Venkman and Dr. Egon Spengler. Dana's apartment building actually exists at 55 Central Park West in New York City. In real life, the building is 20 stories high. For the film, matte paintings and models were used to make the building look bigger and with more floors. The top of the building is modeled after the top of the Continental Life building in St. Louis, Missouri. The role of Peter Venkman was originally written for John Belushi, but he died as Dan Aykroyd was writing the script. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was originally supposed to come up out of the water right next to the Statue of Liberty, but the scene was too hard to shoot. The special effect for an early part in the movie, where the catalog drawers open and the cards fly out, was created by prop workers hidden behind a stage setting made to look like part of the library. The drawers were pushed open from the back, and the cards were blown out with copper piping. The rooftop set for the final confrontation between Gozer and the Ghostbusters occupied an entire soundstage and required 50,000 amps of electricity to be properly lit. Columbia Pictures had to shut down other stages while this scene was being filmed. Scenes in the montage of the Ghostbusters running and driving the ectomobile around New York were done on the first day, largely without film permits. In one scene, someone who looks like a security guard begins chasing them, and Dan Aykroyd is driving the ectomobile. The ectomobile was originally going to be painted black, but it was pointed out that most of the driving would be at night and the car would be difficult to see. Dan Aykroyd said that the scene with Ray and the cigarette was planned, however no adhesive was used. The cigarette stuck to his lip was just his saliva. Chevy Chase turned down the role of Peter Venkman. He claimed that the script used in the movie wasn't the original script, and that the original script was very dark and scarier. Light bulbs were used on the end of the proton packs so the special effects creators could sync up the effects with the live action. John Candy turned down the role of Louis Tully because his ideas for the character were rejected. Candy's suggestions included the character having a German accent and a pair of Schnauzer dogs. No one felt that the German accent was appropriate for the character, and since there were already terror dogs, they felt having Tully owning dogs was too much. Rick Moranis was then cast as Louis. Huey Lewis and the News turned down an offer to write and record a theme song for Ghostbusters. They later sued Ray Parker Jr. for plagiarism, citing the similarities between his theme song and their earlier hit, "I Want a New Drug." The general feeling among musicians is that this judgment was unjust. Ghostbusters was released the same day as Gremlins, 1984. The ectoplasm was made from methylcellulose ether, a thickening agent used in processed foods. The crew members gathered a bunch of interesting props that could be used and let Bill Murray pick his favorite. He chose the sniffer and got it into the film. The title Ghostbusters was already taken and a long legal battle ensued before the makers secured the rights. Initial shooting even had 2 takes of the sign being put up outside of the firehouse, one saying Ghostbusters and one saying Ghost Breakers. Ultimately, the filmmakers saw this as too much work to shoot everything twice and settled on their first choice, hoping the title would be cleared in time. The bookcase falling down behind Peter, Ray, and Egon wasn't scripted and it fell down on its own during a take, and the filmmakers decided to keep it in the movie to add tension. After the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is destroyed and Walter Peck is deluged by a huge amount of marshmallow goo, his next line is garbled due to the marshmallow, and many viewers don't realize that Peck screams, "I hate you, Venkman." Actor William Atherton, who played Walter Peck, recalled that the shaving cream that was used for the melted marshmallow was still quite heavy, so they put some poor stunt guy underneath it to show Atherton, okay, nothing's going to happen, and they unleashed it, and it flattened him. So they took out half of the shaving cream, and then he went in happily and was slimed for the scene. Well, looks like that about wraps it up for another blockbuster hit. Make sure to come out next time when I tackle one of George Romero's earlier zombie works. Until then, keep watching that cinema and stay cool, guys.